Rena,
Good morning.
Mia, good morning.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm pretty good.
Good. Let's see your picture.
I don't know if my camera works. It kind of just goes black.
Does it?
Yeah.
Okay. Matthew, good morning.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm wonderful. I'm on the right side of the dirt.
Yeah, well, that's a good point. I never heard of it that way before, but a bright sunshine way of thinking of life.
That's right. Got to stay
I've
positive.
never heard that before, Matthew.
Never heard of anything but the right side of the bed.
Yeah.
I have.
So,
Keep that in your back pocket.
yeah, I wrote it down. At our age, everything is, my son's already reminded me, Mom, you need to take care of yourself. You're old. And it made me really feel like he really loved me to the point, Mom, you're old. And so I have to kind of really think about the word old when nothing was like that in my vocabulary. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
So that's it. Okay. Kendricks, good morning.
Morning, Chef.
You,
I'm good, Chef. How are you?
I'm always good. Andrew, good morning.
Good morning. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay.
Mia? Oh, she's the one that I just said she couldn't talk. Okay. Are we all ready to start? I'd like to see your faces. A lot to get over today. Decision making. And delegation. Wow. Two strong names and two strong points, I would say. It's a challenge to understand. Are you a delegator? Or do you like to do things your way? Identify the decision. You realize you have to make a decision and clearly define the nature of the decision you must make. The first step is very important. 7 steps. Yeah, come on down. Thank you. 7. Can you go back up there, please? Thank you, Chef. 7 steps for decision making. Identify the problem. Gather the relevant information. What does that mean, really? Identify alternative solutions. Assess the event. Choose the alternative. Take action and review the decision. Using a step-by-step decision-making process will help you make a more deliberate, thoughtful decision on organizing the event. This approach increases the chances that you will choose the most satisfying alternate possibility. Step 2, gather the relevant information, collect your pertinent information before you make your decision. What does that really mean before you make a decision? Do you need to get all all the stuff that comes in. The steps involve both internal and external work. Some of information is internal. You seek it through a process of self-assessment. Other information is external. You find it online, in books, and other people, and from other sources. When you make a decision, when you are making a decision, you really need to gather all the information before you start making a decision. Identify the alternatives. Number 3. As you collect information, you will probably identify several possible paths of action or alternatives. You can also use your imagination and additional information to contact new alternatives. Remember, you have to consider all your options before committing to one of them. Make sure your checklist is to compare solutions. Points on the checklist. How well would this solve this problem? Will it stop similar problems occurring in the future? How much is it going to cost? How does it affect the other departments? Is it legal? That's a good one. Is it ethical? Really important venues of what you want to do. Step 4, weigh the evidence. Draw on the information and emotional to imagine what would be like if you carried it out in the alternative. Do you think this is only just in the restaurant field? Just anything through life. Evaluate when you need to identify. Step 1 would be melt and resolve and use each alternative. As we go through the difficult internal process, we begin to favor certain alternatives. How many times has a friend or you talked and you have to make a decision and you'll say, oh, I've already made my decision. What's best for me? Didn't even think about looking at other options of what the outcome of all of it is. I've made my decision. You really need to weigh everything out. Do you see that scale? A balancing act. How many times have you seen me put my hands up here and balance it out? Because that's what it is in a kitchen also. A balancing act. Yays and nays. And then you decide what is best for you. Finally, the pace of alternative is a prior order based on your own value system. Number 5, choose among alternatives. Once you have weighed all the evidence, you're ready to select an alternative that seems to be one best for you. You may even choose a combination of alternatives. Use your choice is step 5. Make sure that step 5 may very likely be similar to the alternative you have placed on top of your list instead of step 4. Take action. Now you're ready to take some positive action by implement the alternative you choose in step 5. Review the decision and its consequences. Remember, whenever there is a decision, there is a consequence. In this final step, consider the result of your decision, evaluate it, whether or not it has resolved the need you identify, step 1. If your decision has not met an identified need, you may want to repeat certain steps in a process of making a new decision. For example, you might want to gather more detailed or somewhat different information for additional alternatives. So, anybody ever thought or had to make a decision when you're cooking on the line? What about that? Decision making and leadership also in a way, isn't it? To make sure that the shift runs smoothly, to make it work. What do you do once a decision has been made? Right? Wrong? But you put your foot down and made the decision. Some like it, some don't. Once you made your decision, you should act on it first. You should figure out this decision effect and inform them. Generally, employees are good with changes. How many people, can you put your thumbs up? How many people like change? How many of you like change? I'm not seeing too many thumbs up. Let's go. Nigel, Kendricks, thumbs up. Roro. I need to see those thumbs up. I haven't seen them. Andre. It's pretty hard to take attendance when sometimes people don't answer back, guys. So please make sure, we want you to I don't want you to walk through these classes or this block and thought you got away with something. I really want you to learn. So what do you do once a decision has been made? You should act on it first. You should figure it out. Generally, employees are okay with it. They want change. They don't want repetition. They don't want to go into a line and keep doing the same thing over again and over again. That's what happens sometimes to the pastry chefs, guys. We do the same recipe for that restaurant over and over again. It gets to be boring. The decision and the oversee and the implementation is to ensure that you are implemented properly. Watch for overseas and unexpected sags. There's always going to be something that doesn't work right the first time, guys. It has to be changed. If you're wrong, admit that you were wrong, guys. That's one thing that I really truly believe in, is direct answering to an employee or one of your staff. If you're wrong, say it. Never be wrong. Never be shameful that you made a decision that was not right. And take steps to reserve your decision. If you're right, stand by your decision and let them know how you feel. The cause, just cause, is a video. Chef, do you know if you run that video? Thank you. Is there voice?
Hey, Chef, it's lagging.
It doesn't do it, does it? I don't think it's working, Chevy.
The apple is from Ned to from Ned to the teacher.
This video's not doing too hot.
Jeff, it's not working. We can see the video, but no voice. Can anybody hear?
No one can hear. All right, well, then I'm not gonna do it.
No.
Any longer.
We've already
can
done it
hear
for
it.
3 minutes.
Well, I thought y'all could hear.
No, I've been trying to tell you.
Oh, I couldn't hear.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Sorry, I couldn't hear it.
Yeah, so
All right,
don't worry.
let me-
Let's go back to the
let me
slides.
exit. Yeah, sorry,
Must be a problem.
I couldn't hear y'all.
So delegation. Who loves to delegate?
Ron,
Are you a delegate? Do you delegate?
from her house
Keep it right there.
to the mall.
What happens to the project? I delegated to you.
What
I delegated to somebody else. There's people that don't want to do the stuff. They pass it on, as I would say. Pass it on, pass it on. Are you a person to get it done or are you a delegator?
No, where is he starting? Where is
Decide when you delegate. Deciding when you delegate. It is important.
Mike is going?
It's impossible for a manager to make all the decisions
Yeah, he's going from school to the.
they could make, especially if they want to devote their time and apply a full decision-making process to each decision. According,
UT.
I can't say that word, Napoleon could wait. Jonah, aren't you the person that that says the word? Know how to say that word?
Are you talking to me?
Yeah. What
Oh,
is that?
it's
What is
John.
that?
It's Jonas.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's all right.
Apocryphal, chef.
Which word were you trying to pronounce?
According to the
No,
story.
Apocryphal story.
I knew you'd be the one with the words.
Ah,
See?
thank you.
Okay,
Yeah.
and because some of those words I can't say.
Yeah, that's a unique word right there. Apocryphal.
Thank you, though.
that's a
And
$10. That's a $10 word right there, man.
Absolutely.
Okay, and so I wrote your name down, so now I know. Thank you, because I can't see sometimes on these when you have your picture and your name in there.
Well, sure.
it's
Well,
kinda hard to
my
look
video
at
my
it.
video's on. So it's Jonas like Jonas, but there are two
Yeah.
N's. So
Yeah.
so the O is shortened. It's not long.
All right, never heard that name, but it's a nice one.
Thank you.
Napoleon would wait for 2 weeks before opening his mail. By then, the small problems would have been resolved. and he could have focused on his attention on the larger ones. While this is an impractical or almost any management situation, it carries an important lesson with it. There are problems that are worth devoting your full attention to, and problems that are better to delegate to people to trust them to handle them. Yeah? So, the downside of delegating. Who's a delegator? Be honest. In this group. Anybody a delegator? Nobody?
I think we
Wow.
all can,
Yeah,
but not
okay.
in
I need to be in the kitchen one day with you. I'll tell you who your delegators are. Not a problem for me. Things you might not be done right or the way you wanted it to be done can slow things down. You have given up control, but are still responsible for the outcome. Your own time and effort might not be recognized. There's a power play. I understand that. Let out of the fun, you might have enjoyed it more with other things you had to do. A good point. The upside of delegating definitely builds teamwork. That your team is not dependent on you. Increases team commitment. New ideas and possibilities of better solution. That's more interaction. Do you get that idea? To understand? Team members have an opportunity to stretch and grow. Great idea. When you give somebody, what happens when a chef or your leader gives you a job to do and you conquer it? What do you think when the job is done and you have accomplished it? Don't you feel like, yes, I did it, and you're on cloud 9 to make sure that you accomplished it? Make you feel super, super good and go out in the world and say, I can do it, I can conquer it, I can have it, get it done. Do you get that power when something is done the way you want it to get done? I think I do. You all agree? Nobody's awake this morning? Loretta, it's good to see you. Oh my gosh, those thumbs are going up. Thank you. Matthew, where are you? I'm gonna keep up with all of you guys. You think I'm not? I'm gonna make sure you're all there. Got 19 today. Where is all the rest of them? Where are you?
Slacking.
Yeah, it's an important day today. It worries me that you're not here. Are you having problems with the computer or something like that? We all need to know, guys. 19 out of 29, that means 10 people are not here, and that worries me.
wow.
Really worries me. So if you're friends with some of them, you better tell them to get on. Because this group has been together, right, all along? Loretta?
I think the most of us have.
I've gotten about 3 or 4 texts this morning.
Okay. Because we really need to show up and make sure we get it done, please. You know, I'm not asking for myself, I'm asking for you all, for the information today. Team members have an opportunity to stretch and grow. Great idea. And the last but not least, you are only one staying alive at night thinking about the solutions. And you're not the only one. So Making decisions.
Chef, can I jump in real quick?
Sure.
I feel like when we're talking about delegation, you've got to delegate to your employees, because your employees need to feel empowered, like they need to feel like they're doing something. And I you know, I mean, it could be something small, it could be something large, but I excuse me. But my feeling is delegating or getting people to buy into your restaurant and buy into your philosophy and everything else. I think that's or not people, but your employees, to buy into your restaurant and your philosophy and how you deal with things, I think is very important. And making your employees feel empowered by giving them some little bits of, hey, can you do this or can you do that? I think that really gives that employees the sense of, oh, okay, they feel like I'm doing a good job, so I can handle this a little bit more or whatever else. So I think it really adds a lot to it, to employees, kind of life in the restaurant business. But anyway, go ahead, Chef.
No, that's great to understand. Remember when, again, I'm going to say it, we as a team, not I. That is the key word, guys, when you're using or when you're working anywhere. Can we do it together to make decisions and make it work? If you keep saying the word I, you're going to be on the front line every day. That's where you don't want to be, because you've got other things to have to get done. Much of the manager's time is spent in decision making, up to 75%. According to their sources, sometimes it's so important, it's essential to have a process of making decision as effectively as possible. Fast pace. 7, for delegating better and getting more done. Being a good leader involves delegating tasks to employees. This can be difficult to do for many people, but there are tricks to make it easier and more effective. Are you a team leader to delegate what you need to get done? First of all, you know, are you a motivator? If you're a delegator, you are a motivator in some aspects to empower other people to do it. Whether you're a team leader or an entrepreneur or in some similar position, authority, delegation is going to be the key, magnetizing your productivity and keeping yourself sane during a tight deadline or a large workload. The problem is many entrepreneurs and leaders don't know how to delegate effectively or aren't willing to do it unless they absolutely have to. Remember what it said before, the pluses and the minuses of delegation. You feel that maybe you won't be recognized as a leader. But that's wrong, because when you're in a business, you want that business or that restaurant to prosper. And if you're going to worry about if you are not recognized, you're not going to be happy. So there is a definite problem with that. Delegating tasks is a skill. Like any skill, you have learned to improve it over time. Put these 7 delegation to practice and watch your organization efficiency increase. To understand. Learn how to let go. Oh my gosh. Control freak, right? How many places have you worked sometimes and they are on your back? The greatest problem with most new bosses and leaders face is the inability to let go of their own work. Sometimes they feel so dedicated completing their work and refuse to let go of other people's work. Other times they fear that nobody else and the skills and abilities necessary to execute work efficiency. Whatever the case may be, your first priority needs to learn to let go. I have a problem with that. I'm not going to deny I don't. I have a vision, and sometimes people don't understand my vision, but the people around me that cater with me, because I've hired them, know my vision and I let go. But when you have new employees coming in and coming out, you don't know them and they don't know you. They don't know how your interpretation is of how you want that plate to look. Pretty fair? Yeah. But you do need to let go sometimes for them to bloom and get that knowledge down. Whatever the case may be, your first priority needs to learn to let go. I get it. Start small, delegating on small tasks, and gradually work up. Get to your own team better and improve. Take baby steps, and you know that eventually you will let go of your work if you want your team to be successful. Find a place that you love to be, that you can learn something every day. It's enough. Art of delegation. Play to your workers' strength. Oh my gosh, you've hired them. You know what they can do. Or you hope that you know that they get what they can do. The next one, Chef. Down, yeah, right there. No, number 3. Play to your workers' strength. As a leader, you have to learn and Jonas. God,
Jonas.
Yeah,
Jonas, I
yeah,
got it now.
Jonas.
I got it. Tell me that word again.
What? Which one?
Line, the
Apocryphal?
first line, you learn the
Apocryphal.
hope. As a leader, you learn on 3. It's on the board.
What?
Subtleties, Chef.
What is it?
Subtleties.
Okay, thank you. Who said that?
This is Marcus.
Thank you, Marcus. And your team mates. You should know each individual's strength and weakness, including his or her current and potential range of skill. When delegating, take a look at their team and their assigned task and whatever they have the greatest member of the reliant skills for their task. It seems like an obvious choice, but too many leaders delegate, and whenever or the highest workload is the most convenient. It is also important to be consistent. For example, delegating the same type of task to the same individual will eventually increase the individual's appetite for those tasks. Remember what I said, if they keep doing it over and making themselves comfortable at it over again, they'll feel more comfortable doing it. Always include instructions. Number 4, please, Chef. Thank you. Even if the task process seems obvious to you, make sure to include instructions with each task you delegate. If you have a specific preference on how the assignment will be carried out, include the information. If you have a strict deadline or milestones you need to hit, be clear about them. Be honest. Anything you do, always be honest, straightforward. and understands why the priority of something to get done. You have a time frame. You have something that has to get done, and you might be over anxious or over something to say. Including details and straightforward instructions from get-go will avoid most communication gaps and will allow your task to be executed efficiently. So, teaching somebody, not telling them to do it without instructions is not a good thing. You've got to make sure that they understand the procedure and the steps it takes to finish that task, instead of saying, do this, and let them fend for themselves. Yes, sometimes fending for yourself, guys, and I think you know it, and you see if you agree with me with your thumbs up. Some people give you a direction and let you do it without even giving you directions on how to do it. And then you say, well, what do you want me to do with it? Well, read it, read it, read it. They'll say, get it done. Sometimes it's easier to show somebody how to do it than have for them to figure it out. Do you all agree? Don't be afraid to teach new skills. Oh my. I love employees that say, oh, chef, don't worry about it. I'll show them how to do it. How many of you do that? I know Marcus does. I know you do. Put you in a leadership role, doesn't it, Marcus?
Yes, it does, Chef.
Feel good, doesn't it?
Absolutely.
Yep. That's what it is all about, pumping each other up to do the job, making you feel like you're doing something, accomplishing something. Lacking someone on your team with the ability to execute a certain task or your to-do list doesn't mean the work can't be delegated. Most skills can be learned, some more easier than others. Don't be afraid to teach a part or as a part of a delegation process. Remember, in essence, if you help somebody else, they will always remember that and always be grateful. Wow. Me learning the computer, surrounding myself with people that have helped me conquer it, a little bit of it. Not a big part of it, guys. I'm not great at it. Making me feel like a queen, even though it might be a dud in some aspects of some people, but made me accomplish a little bit. Didn't it make you feel better? I mean, a lot of you knew computers before or this way before. How many of you knew that? How many knew computers as much as you know today? Anybody knew computers? Okay.
Yes, Chef.
Did you all feel like you've learned something in this last week? Nope.
No,
Other
not in
expressions,
regards to this portal.
Portal part?
No, it's pretty easy.
Is it? Well, then I gotta be a num-num.
No, not necessarily. It just
Okay.
came a little easier for me, probably.
Yeah. A lot of you, are you enjoying it, or are you rather happy in a classroom?
Classroom.
Kimberly, what would you like to do? Classroom?
Yeah, definitely classroom.
Matthew?
Yeah, I'd rather be in a classroom. That's why I moved halfway across the country.
I know, I understand. I understand, but I promise, I think it's going to be probably just this semester, because I think it looks like we've got a rainbow coming, and I hopefully
Well, I'm just thankful we're not behind. We're still on track.
we're all on track, correct? And you've got to take restaurant ops, so it really helps a lot that this was a subject that we didn't have to cook in a kitchen with. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
Okay, So don't be afraid. Through the assignments of your new first task, you will take more time, but you will save. That will save you, since you will need to train your chosen employee. Consider the investment. By transferring those skills, you'll be opening the door to assigning all similar tasks to that individual in the future, ultimately saving more time that you spend teaching. So if you taught it and they learned well, they can pass it on. Trust, but verify trust. So what is that saying? Once a task is delegated, trust your teammate to execute his or her own terms. This will allow the person to tackle the work the way he or she feels best. However, don't be afraid to occasionally step in and verify that they're doing the task. For example, if you have assigned a week ago that due tomorrow that your employees is on top of things, but sent a quick verification email to make sure the person hasn't hit a snag. Make sure that they know that you're there. If they don't see you any time and you've assigned them to do something, you know, just a little tidbit saying, I'm here, if you need me, come send me a text to see what I can do for you. Doing so encourages more trust and respect within your team and helps prevent breaks in communication and understanding. Feedback. Wow, that's a good one. Do you want a feedback from your employees to say, well, chef, I don't think that this is going to work really good. Can we do it this way? You know, feedback is the most important part of a delegation process. It works both ways, from an executive chef or an executive sous chef to the front line. If your workers have done well, that the task you assigned, let them know publicly, thanking them, making them feel like somebody. If they've fallen short, don't be afraid and give them some constructive criticism. Don't tear them down in front of other people. If you have something not great to say, guys, about a job being done, take that person aside. Never confront it in front of other people. Always take them aside and say, you know what, you could be doing this a different way. Don't let everybody know his business, her business. Take them aside and talk to them. Don't feed them to the wolves, as I would say. On the other hand, invite your coworkers to share their thoughts on how you're delegating. It is a crucial chance for you to determine whether you're providing enough information or whether you're assigning the rights for the task for the right people. Delegating is not always easy. The next one, Chef, thank you. And the process isn't always clear, but the sooner you start, the sooner you develop the expertise to do it efficiently. Realize the process will never be perfect, but learn from the experience and making outgoing adjustments and improvements. What is delegating and how different than work directing? Anybody thought about that? Delegating is a critical skill for supervisors at any level. Delegating involves working with an employee to establish goals, granting them sufficient authority and responsibility to achieve their goals, often giving them freedom to decide how the goals to be achieved, remaining availability as a resource to help them achieve their goals, accessing the quality of the effect and obtain of their goals. Ultimately, the supervisor retains the responsibility for the attainment of the goal, but choose to achieve the goals by delegating it to somebody else. Delegating is different than working directly. Work directly is telling somebody what to do and how to do it. There usually is much less freedom as how the employee does the task. And many times is much less ownership, participation, and learning as part of an employee as well. How to delegate. Keep going down, Chuck. Yeah, thank you. Feedback, motivation. Principles of effective delegation. Thomas H. Horton. Down, Chuck. Thank you. Right there. Is a delegation of team building, solo, act, please, management review. Suggest the following steps for accomplished delegation. Delegate the whole task to one person. This gives the person a complete responsibility for doing the task and increase the person's motivation to do the task. And it also provides more focus on the supervisor who's working with the person to understand the desired results. So remember what we said before too, delegation? Give them the steps on how to do it. Select the right person to delegate to. Access the skills and capability of the person, of an individual who can actually accomplish the task. Really important. Access to success. Does he or she have the knowledge, skills, and ability to do the task? That's the first question that you have to do. If not, the person might need training, or perhaps the task can be delegated to somebody else. Clearly specify your preferred results. Provide information on the results should look like. Why those results are desired when the results should be accomplished. Who else might help the person with the resources the person has to work with? You might leave on how to accomplish a task. Working together, did you notice that? It's not a person alone trying to do the task. You and authority can pair people up to get the job done or help each other out. Delegation doesn't have to be one-on-one. It could be a team effort to get that particular job, which might be a big one, get it done. Delegates responsibility and authority. Design the task, not the method of accomplishing it. Let the person complete the task in a manner he or she chooses, as long as the desired result is likely to be with the superior's specifications. Let the person have strong input as to the completion date of the project. Remember, working together to see when it could get done. Make sure that the others in the organization understand that this person has both the responsibility and the authority to complete it. Ask the person to summarize back to you, and description result as you prefer. A summary of what he or she want to do. Get ongoing to instructive feedback about the process and the project. Remember, you can delegate, but you can come back and keep reminding somebody that you are watching over them. Don't make them feel like they're alone, that you're a team. Very important about delegation. Or you want to make sure that you emphasize to them that you're not far away. That they have to have any questions, if they have anything, any feedback, if they need a meeting with you, to make sure that they have open line communication. Don't hover over that person and pretend that you're over them all the time. But make sure you support them. Very, very important. While the task is going. Number 8, if you're not satisfied with the process, do not do the task yourself. Please. Make sure that they don't feel like a failure. Come there to help them to make it work. So communication is really, really important. For example, it is a lack of communication, training, and sources of commitment of the person. Evaluate and reward the person's performance. Wow. Don't even have to take them in the office. This is the time that you can do it in front of a lot of other people. And the reward is greater because they feel like they're up on a cloud. And make them feel like you have accomplished something. Now, if the performance is not done well, it would be better to do it on the side or in an office. Other people don't need to know somebody else's failure, guys. It's really hard. Problem solving, effective problem solving, decision making. Problem solving and decision making along together. You cannot solve a problem without making a decision. There are 2 main types of decision makers: systematic and intuitive. They go with the emotions or the gut feeling about the right approach. They may have high They may have highly creative ways of addressing a problem, but cannot explain why they have chosen this approach. 6 problem steps. We're going to go through it pretty fast because we've got a lot to do today. The effective method using both rational and intuitive for creative approaches. Identify the problem, search the alternatives, weigh the alternatives, make a choice, implement the choice, eliminate the results, and necessary to start the process again. Identify the problem. To solve the problem, you must first to determine that the probe actually, there is a problem. You may think you know, but you need to check on it. Sometimes it's easy to focus on symptoms, but not causes. You may rationally approach, determine what the problem is. What have I observed and other people? Remember, again, it's not I, it's we. What was I doing at the first time the problem occurred? Is this problem itself symptoms of a deeper underlying problem? What information do I need? What have we already tried to address this problem? For example, the apprentice you supervise comes to you and saying that electric warming oven is not working properly. Before you can call a repair technician, you may ask a few questions. You may find out what the apprentice means by not working properly. Does he or she know how to operate the equipment? Does he or she check the equipment was plugged in? Was the false or the circuit breaker checked? When did it work last? You may be able to avoid the expensive service call. As a result, we'll be able to provide valuable information to the repair technician or aid for troubleshooting process. Of course, many problems that you face in the kitchen is more complex than a manufacturing oven. You may have to deal with problems, discrepancies, food cost. Wow, that's a big one. Do we want to keep it in line? Lack of budget, need renovations in the kitchen despite the staff. However, the basic problem solving remains the same, even if the problem identifies differ. Search for alternatives. It may seem to be obvious that you have to do an address to the problem. Occasionally, it is true that most times it is important to, next one, Chef. Yes, thank you. Brainstorming with the group can be an excellent tool for identifying potential alternatives. Your team is really, in a way, sometimes your hero. Working together to solve a problem, to make it work. Weigh the options. Remember, we saw it in the first couple of slides. Always weigh your problem. Impact on the organization, effect on public relations, impact on employees and organization climate, cost. Always in a restaurant, it's the cost factor sometimes that makes a decision. Legality. Ethics of action, whether this course is permitted under collective agreement, whether the idea can be used to build another idea. What are the choices? Individual groups avoiding decisions, not making decisions. Of postponing a decision, you might eliminate numbers of options and alternatives. You lose control over a situation. In some cases, a problem can be escalate if not dealt with properly. Implement the decision. Once you have made the decision, it must be implemented. No matter what the consequences is, your decision, you make the decision to go on. May involve detailed planning to ensure that all parts of the operations are formed in the part of the change. The kitchen may need to be designed and new equipment. Employees may need additional training. Oh my gosh, is that a good one? Wow. You may have to plan for a short-term closure. We're right in the middle of it. This is a perfect time. While the necessary changes are being made, you may have to inform your customers of the closure. Evaluation and the outcome. Whether you have implemented a decision, you need to evaluate the results. The outcomes may give valuable advice about decision making. Working in a silo. In today's world, there's large focuses on completing specific tasks or simply cheaply as possible. And in many instances, you can create a funnel vision. Straightforward. Effective, where employees can only care about or focus on their own issues and not need to forget to take their account and business as a whole. The type of workplace is often referred to as working in a silo and can be for a business or not managed correctly. Tip tips to fix the problem. Remember the big picture. Everything is the big picture, and take it. Anybody work in a kitchen that has been in a silo effect? Straightforward, tunnel, not to solve the problems? Any of you? Marcus?
Yes and no. It was a strange situation for that kitchen because there was a lot of communication issues going on due to the language barrier that existed. A lot of the Spanish speaking.
You know, you brought a great thing up, language barrier. I've been in a kitchen where I mean, I've had to learn Spanish, which is wonderful for me because it's a new experience, but it sometimes is a hard thing. And sometimes companies do hire people that we have to learn to accommodate, and we have to remember, this is a world that is evenly dealt. We have to accept, but sometimes it brings up a picture of, for us to step out of our box to accept their box. Do you get what I'm saying, Marcus?
Certainly, Chef. I actually learned Spanish because of it. So
it was trying, wasn't it?
oh yeah, it was one of the things my chef actually told me. He said, if you want to actually make it in this business, learn Spanish.
That's right.
Spanish.
I do. Underlay, mucho trabajo. All the words that don't mean too much, but you kind of compromise. But it is a thing. Chef Cliff, I know you had your hand up too, Chef.
No, I'm good.
Are you good?
Yeah.
Everybody understand that there is sometimes issues on the front line that you have to kind of accommodate and make it work? Create a clear process of varieties of teams, process and standardizing. Cross-training, oh my gosh, that is a key word. I brought it up 2 or 3 times.
That is very important. I agree, Chef.
Very, very important. And you know what? Sometimes, guys, it's really hard to say this, but you always need somebody to lead a little bit more than executive sous chef. You need a leader on that front line that accommodates and understands what you want. So you can give him a delegation so he can continue to do what he needs to do to help you. It's not favoritism. I'm telling you right now, try to be even across the board, but you definitely need to find somebody that understands what you want to convey or come across on the line. What is your guideline? What is your rule? Really important. If you have a problem that seems to have no solution, okay, one before that, Chef, I'm sorry. Your creative side is most useful in identifying new and unusual alternatives. Too often you get stuck in a pattern and not thinking about how successful it was in the past. If you think of ways you have handled similar problems in the past, sometimes this is successful. If you have a problem that seems to have no solution, try these ideas. Unfreeze your mind. Relax before trying to identify alternatives. Play what-if games with the problem. For example, what if money was no object? Could you organize a festival? What if we could change winter into summer? I don't think so. Borrow ideas from other places and companies. Trademark magazines might be useful to identify the approach used for your company. Give yourself permission to think of ideas seem foolish but appear to break the rules. For example, new recipes may come and become someone thought of new ways to combine food. Is that Austin today? Out of the box. New food. Maybe an old recipe, but making it grow. That's what Austin is all about. Out of the box. Sometimes new combinations appear to break rules with complementary taste or break boundaries between cuisine and different parts of the world. The result, such things include combined bar and laundromat and a coffee place to internet access to customers. Use random inputs to generate new ideas. For example, walk through local shopping malls, try to find new ways to apply everything you see to the problem. Turn the problem upside down. Can the problem be seen to be an opportunity? For example, the road outside your restaurant, that it only means of access to your parking lot is being closed due to a bicycle race. Perhaps you shall see the bicycle race as an opportunity for business rather than a problem. So did you just hear what I just said? If he's going to close the parking lot and people can walk there, what kind of things would you do in the restaurant to make them come in? If they're bicyclists, they're healthy, right? Hopefully. Everybody understand that? So what would you do? Smoothies, right? Health drinks?
Yogurts.
Yogurt? A different plan. You have to kind of go through what you need to do. Six reasons Yes Chef is still important. Wow. I'm so proud that they put this in there. Respectability, guys. And I'm going to tell you another thing. Get over it. When a chef tells you something to do, you do it. Respectability. There is no denying that some have accurately pointed to problems with a chain of command structure. Initially designed to create an efficient model in manufacturing operations. In essence, everyone's duties and objectives would stem from the top person, vision and directives. In this case, it is meant manufacturing goals. While they are inherent challenges that type the bureaucratic approach, there are also many advantages that have, when applied to a reasonable manager. It was Escoffier who first developed a system of order in a kitchen. I was going to talk about Escoffier the other day, and I'm glad that we're talking about him today. It was Escoffier who developed the system of order for the operation of a professional kitchen. His vision was to how do you say the word, compartmentalize?
Compartmentalize.
Yeah, thank you. The task that needs to be performed. Identify the right person to oversee the task and complete the communication model between the executive chef and those designed to overseeing to ensure the expectations of the kitchen were met. It was the brigade system. He created the skill defined to some degree how kitchens continue to operate today, more than 140 years later. The kitchen brigade system is based on underlying premise that takes to consideration, responsibility, and authority, efficiency, and the employee morale. Responsibility and authority. Escoffier knew that giving the individual the responsibility and the individual and the responsibility for outcome without authority making decision with the recipe for the failure. To this end, the contrary to the chain of command. He experienced that in the French military. Oversight positions were allowed to make decisions. Many of the overpower decisions in their department as long as they supported the overall plan establishment of the executive chef. Efficiency, considering the scope of the work in the kitchen, immediately of decision making. Escoffier saw that allowing the department heads to make decisions was a clear way to create a high level of sufficiency. The larger scope decision making would remain on the shoulders of the executive chef. I'm trying to think where my phone is. Chef, you want to take a little break? Chef Cliff.
Yes, sorry, I was talking on mute. Yeah, let's take a break. What do you want, 10, 15 minutes? What would you like?
I'd say
Steph?
10 minutes because we've got a lot to do.
I heard that. 10 minutes.
you. 10 minutes,
Everybody
guys.
good?
Appreciate
I'm going to
it.
stop sharing for right now.
Okay.
Or actually, I'll
You know,
keep it
we
going.
really didn't have much. Why don't we go on? I'm sorry. Let's not take a break. Let's go on because it's got about another 6 slides. And then what we'll do is take the 10-minute break and then we'll come back for the spreadsheet.
Okay.
What do you all think? Everybody okay? Okay with that? Thank you. Because that we kind of finished the PowerPoints for this morning. I appreciate that very much. Because then we can really go into things that what we're here for today. We're up to 21 and I'm so proud, guys. Thank you. Keep coming back because we need you. You need us and we need you. And that's what it's all about, right? To understand. So I'm going to go over. So we know efficiency. The third one is employee morale. Any organization that does not engage in a system of order will create an environment of uncertainty and eventually chaos. Well, can you imagine 5 people on a line all telling you what to do? For me,
That's
we all
chaos.
need total chaos. We all need to know what our job is to get it done. Really important. It becomes important not only to build an organization system, but also insist that who works with the system abide by the order of the brigade, the Escoffier way. It sounds like a military approach. That's because it is. Escoffier used his time as a chef in the French military and designed the brigade system. He saw how the types of hierarchy allowed the business on the battlefield to process the same level of confidence. How does this apply to today's modern kitchen? And why is it still important? Individual responds very well in an orderly, efficient, and consistent system. Share ideas in a repetitive environment. Do you get bored? Any of you get bored when you work in someplace, doing the same thing over and over again? Do you want something new every day? Something that you can make you think? In this month, we want to think, don't we? We're put in a situation that we're not thinking. We want to grow. We want to be something and do something. You agree with me, Loretta?
I agree, Chef.
Okay. If any of you disagree with me, let me know. I love to be told I'm not saying something right. I want to learn. I want the other side. Do you all get what I'm saying?
Yes, Chef.
Okay. Oh my gosh, you're too nice, Loretta, this morning.
That's true, though.
Agreeing with me. That's all right. Where's Roro? I don't see her today. Where are you?
She's on there.
She didn't have to work last night. She should be up and at 'em. Should be saying everything. Where are you, Roro?
I'm here, Chef.
Awake? I'm watching you.
Yes, ma'am. I'm listening.
You tired?
No, I just don't feel too good.
No?
No, ma'am.
I think you know what it is. Oh, well, you've been working, so you've been going out, but a lot of people like us who've been home a lot, we're just about, we're done. I think I've done every closet already. I've been in the office. I've been in the office for 3 days. So for me, I'm getting rid of,
Clutter.
getting rid of stuff.
Uh-huh.
You know, I found my first paper that hired me to teach cake decorating in 1977, the contract.
Wow.
That is way back. And my husband, 77. You weren't even, none of you were born.
I
I
was.
was. Hello.
Were you born in, what year were you born?
70. I was 7 years old.
Were you? I got married in 70. So I'm going to be married 50 years this year. So
Wow.
yeah. But in 77 was my first contract teaching cake decorating. And that's something.
That's something.
I couldn't believe it was 77. I thought it was like, I don't know. Oh my gosh. I don't think Chef Cliff wants to hear about this stuff.
I don't mind. I'm listening. I'm loving it.
No, I just, it was a surprise to me, but
Tell
anyway.
us all about it, Chef.
Oh, I loved it. I mean, I've always loved teaching. Probably because they say I talk a lot. But I love teaching, and I love to motivate people, and I love to make people, my word in my class is think. So when you get me or anything, well, you got me now with Chef Cliff, but when you get me, the word I bring up all the time is think. So think before you make a decision and open your mouth. Because sometimes when you open your mouth and you don't think, you're going to pay a consequence. So that is a key thing that you need to do. All right, so let me go back to, I think I need to remember, I'm going to go back up here to, okay, so I said that. So I'm going to say keep calm and stay, yes, Chef. Yes, Chef is more of just a note responsibility of directive. Yes, Chef helps you create pride, respect for the position, and commitment for a common goal. Loretta, I think your speaker's on, sweetheart. Loretta, your speaker's on.
Yeah, but I don't have any noise in my house.
Okay, so thank you. Thank you, though. For the position, commitment to a common goal. It is a reflection of the order and unity that allows a kitchen to perform at the highest level. Produce exceptional dining experiences for the guest. Respectability. Pride. Oh my gosh. Remember what I said. We're in this business because we love what? Somebody tell me what I keep saying. What do I do keep saying?
We love what we do.
I love attention.
Yes.
Because if we didn't like attention, we wouldn't be here. We want somebody to know what we're cooking. How many of you agree with me?
That's true, Chef.
Oh, wait a minute. Don't say that. I don't agree with you.
That's Jonas.
I know, Jonas, that's not right.
I
You don't like-
disagree. I disagree, Chef. I really don't care about the attention. I don't.
You
I
don't?
actually don't want, no, I don't. I don't want the attention.
Well, you're the first one I've ever met that didn't want the
That
attention.
can't be. That can't be.
I agree
Really,
with
I'm
Jonas on this
serious.
one.
I mean, I have since I started, you know, at Escoffier and getting familiar with you know, people in the culinary world. I do recognize an aspect of egotism in the you know, in the culture of the culinary world, but absolutely no. I'm not doing it for attention.
So when you do your food,
Mhm.
when you cook your food and you come into a room with it,
Mhm.
and everybody goes ooh and ah, You hear me what I said?
Yeah.
It doesn't make you feel good?
Oh, sure. Of course it does. Of course, anything that anyone does that invokes any sense of appreciation, you're going to feel rewarded from that, of course. But that's not the motive. That isn't the reason for doing it. I'm not doing this so that you can feed my ego. That's not what it is about.
I think when I'm saying
Yeah, I agree with
attention to
Johnny
though
on
is
that.
making sure there's a wow factor involved in it, that you're
Well,
coming in and wanting that.
Yeah, well, you're damn right. You hope that your food is exceptional and that people are pleased with it and they think it's delicious and they want more. Of course you want that. But that's not the primary objective. It isn't to like, man, I'm really good at this and I'm going to do this and I'm going to make everyone in this room be so impressed by me. That's not
I
for
don't
me,
mean-
for me
well,
anyway.
Well, you really, you know what? You digested that word and chewed it and spit it out. But when I'm saying that when you are taking pride in what you do to bring out the product or the dinner and people are wowing it, you do have a high of that.
Sure.
Correct?
Absolutely.
And so a
Absolutely.
high is meaning that that's what you love to do and being the center of bringing it out.
Right. Yeah, there is.
Now you
You're right.
understand my aspect of it.
You're absolutely right. There is a sense of validation when you pour your heart into something and you get a response. You're validated. It's like, okay, I am actually doing what I thought I was doing. So for
Okay.
sure.
We're on the same keynote.
Cool.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Sure.
Okay. Pride. The title chef is earned by many years, incredible hard work. It requires a focus of knowing a great deal about food, cooking on food presentation. Also requires a skill set, includes operational management, menu planning, human resources management, finance, marketing, system proficiency. And we respond to yes, chef. We are paying homage to the skill necessary to hold that title. Respect, oh my gosh. For me, this is, besides pride, respect is a big issue for me. If you don't like the person, respect them. I don't care. If you say, yes, chef, respecting him and accepting the individual holding that title deserves our respect. It applies to if we do not always agree with the chef, but we don't particularly care for them. At this moment, when we say, yes, chef, we are saying, I respect you as a person in charge without the level of the respect in the kitchen. Will quickly flow into the back holes. Come and go. Every day in the kitchen is filled with a need to hang on to an order, while staying true to the food philosophy and the operations of the core. Yes, chef means that we all get together to pursuit of the same goals, that we are willing to and able to follow the directions of the chef who has the big picture in mind. Finally, order will only have the staying power. If you hire the right individual to be the right part of a kitchen team, the right individual always has strong cooking skills. Positive attitude, another big skill, guys, between respect and positive attitude. Oh my gosh. Nobody in my kitchen has a negative attitude. I tell them when I hire them, and I'm sure Chef Cliff feels the same way. You talk to them. If you have a positive attitude, you're on board. If you've got a negative attitude, you're gone. Because the negative attitude is like a disease working in a kitchen. Overpowers an awful lot of things and negativity comes in and nothing can work. It's a really desire to pursue the job as a career. This means they will have a need to interact with the chef. offer observation and ideas, some ideas, and interact and feel part of the overall direction the chef has. So tomorrow's agenda, type of training that we are going to be doing, learn, experience, development, skills, and knowledge. And where are we going to take away from this? Really understanding decision-making versus that. So let's take a 10-minute break and then we'll come back. Is that pretty good? Everybody feel good?
Sounds good.
Hey guys, I just kind of heard on the news that I guess now in Travis County, if you leave or go out anywhere in public, you have to wear a face mask covering, some sort of covering over your mouth and nose.
But we're going back to school on the 18th.
No, we're not. No, we're not.
I know. That's why I was saying that.
Yeah. No, I know. That's why I laughed.
I'm definitely not.
But let me ask you this: I'm not arguing. I'm just looking at the other side of the. How can you legally enforce that?
Well, in Cali, if you don't wear a face mask, that's $1,000 fine.
Yeah, but you're talking about California. That's a whole nother country.
I really don't know. I just overheard it with my earphones off. But on the news,
you have federal permission to change laws for this.
So the way that they're able to legally enforce it is that they're putting the states in what they call state of emergencies.
Yeah.
Yes. So when you put something in a state of emergency, national rules don't apply. So what they're telling you to do, you either do it or there's dire consequences, plain and simple.
Well, I'll just take the consequence because I'm not doing it.
Well, and that's what you should be more concerned with, Matt, is not so much how are they going to enforce you wearing a mask out in public. The concern should be if, like, our governor here in the state of Texas is putting the date of May 8th on bringing everything back into fruition. The concern should be May 8th is not going to be enough time for everything to get back in order. Less than 1% of the United States of America has been tested for this virus. Other countries have tested their entire population and shown that over 50% of those people have had zero symptoms. They were completely asymptomatic. They had no idea they were infected. So when May 8th rolls around, if the governor says, back to work, people, business as usual, and the rest of the communities and the cities say, okay, cool, and they go back, like Escoffier, our school, for example, they're like, all right, the governor says it's good to go, let's go. That's when you should be concerned, because May 8th will be no different than today. In fact, May 8th will be much worse than today.
It's just
That's
like in
what you need
Asia.
to be concerned about.
China's getting a second wave of it because they've done that exact thing.
That's what I'm saying. Like, don't worry about getting fined for not wearing a face mask. Be concerned about what you're going to choose to do with your life when government officials are telling you everything is okay and it is not. That's
On May
the choice
8th,
you need to be.
if they
Yes.
decide to open the state back up on May 8th, me and my kids still gonna be sitting in the house chilling.
I'm so happy to hear that, Tia.
I'm still gonna do what I do the best, so I'm still gonna do the same routine that I normally do. Isolation doesn't bother me. I did this shit in the military.
Jonas,
Sure.
It's Delilah. My sister is a molecular pathologist up there in Dallas, and she had told me, I think last week, that they told her to be expected to be working on those tests. She's actually testing people for coronavirus until August.
Until August?
Yeah, so she
Has she said anything about the Canadian tests that are coming out, the at-home Canadian tests? Has she talked to you about that at all?
She actually, I think she did. She sent home tests to all of my family because she had to send her husband and her kid home.
Really?
Yeah, she had to send her family home so she could be self-isolated.
That's incredible.
Yeah,
That's
so
good.
she tested, like all of us. I got tested, my entire family.
You did?
Yeah, I tested negative.
Wow.
Yeah, same here. I took my
That's
test like 2 weeks
great.
ago.
Yeah,
That's great. That's the only thing that is really that is the most pertinent thing of all of this is widespread testing. Otherwise, everything that we've done for the past month will be in vain. I mean, there will be no sense in just blindly listening to someone say, "All right, it's gone," when you know that you yourself haven't been tested. It's crucial that everyone gets tested because, like I said, you know, it's a shocking percentage of people that have not shown any symptoms but have actually been infected and spreading the diseases, and
They're the carriers.
yeah, absolutely, and so. Anyway, the only thing I'm saying is, like, you know, don't worry about going out without a face mask and what's the fine going to be and what's going to be enforced. What you need to be concerned with is the powers that be telling you when it's safe to go out based on the economy or finances. You know what I mean? Versus public health and safety.
But my question is that how are you going to get everybody tested when in a lot of places, I may be wrong, but in a lot of places they're requiring everybody to have health insurance. Most people don't have health insurance.
Well, and that's what the standards are now, and it's not even insurance that is a primary factor in getting a test. You have to fill out a complete, like, full-page checklist of symptoms before you get tested in certain states in America. If you don't check off every single box, they're not going to test you. That's how it is now, because there's a limited amount of tests because we're so far behind in everything.
But I've also heard that if you have the symptoms and you go to the hospital, you don't have to pay the bill for that testing or being treated. Do you know that?
Oh no,
Your
I
insurance
did not hear that.
Automatically,
So that I do know, I've heard. Because I have friends that work in the medical field. I do know that, I've heard.
You don't pay any bills that according to the doctor, to what.
But with the fact that there is so few tests, and
well, that's an understatement, Tia. So few tests.
I'm being nice, Jonas. I'm trying to use big people words. Okay.
Okay.
But with the fact that there's so few tests and there's so many counties, cities, states that have not been, there's so many counties and cities within all states that have not been tested.
Sure.
That trying to open your mouth and say that you're going to open us back up or open the world back up or the outside's going to be for play on May 8th is a huge, like, well, fuck it. We don't care about y'all, really.
Well, that's what's curious about putting an arbitrary date on things, like the Trump administration did with Easter. Like, I don't know if you guys remember, a couple of weeks ago, he was like,
yes,
Easter's a good day. It's significant for this and that. We're going to make it significant for this. It's completely arbitrary, not based in any form of reality or science. What our state is doing, I'm just saying May 8th, that's what Texas is saying. May 8th, our shelter in place has been extended to May 8th. They're just putting a date on this. So that's what you got to wonder about why are they putting a date on it? Are they putting a date on it to give people hope, or are they putting a date on it?
Hope.
Yeah, like it gives somebody like, you know, something tangible to
light at the end of the tunnel.
Yeah,
you know, to be able to see it, right?
Exactly. But it can also, it's a double-edged sword, because it can give somebody this sense of, like, okay, if I can just make it to May 8th, I'll be all right, and then the world will be back to normal. But in reality, that is just simply not the case. It's not. So what they're going to do is they're going to end up pushing that date back, and all of that hope that they gave to people, it's going to cut the opposite direction. It's going to make people feel like, well, are you lying to me? Are you, you know, why are you placating to my desires to just get back to normalcy? I
just
think
like
it's
when we were. It's just like when we was debating in school that last week. They would come in there every day, and every time they come into the class, it was something different. Oh, it doesn't look that bad. We're hopefully optimistic.
sure. Yeah,
And then
sure.
the more they came in there and said stuff, it was always different,
Well,
and
sure.
never
But
did
what they were
anything to
saying,
confuse people.
yeah, what they were saying, Matt, was just based on what the officials were saying, and that has been changing from the top down from the beginning. I mean, if you guys remember, what they told us a month ago was like, just make sure you wash your hands and don't touch your face. How fucking silly is that? Like, looking back at it now, hindsight 2020,
People
how
are
silly is that? It's ridiculous. It's fucking airborne. It doesn't matter how well you wash your hands. You know what I mean? Like, so they
The
were just
virus,
saying what
not a
they knew.
bacteria.
Yeah. And they were just doing what they knew to do.
Yeah, I agree to
Up with
that.
like the presidential update up until now, or at least up until they issued the update about May 8th. All of the presidential updates, like on YouTube, if you watch them, I've been watching them live like, every single night.
Yeah, sure.
They
You mean
all
you mean
say-
the campaigning, the presidential campaigns?
Yeah,
like the updates about this virus.
Okay.
Like where, like I don't know who it is, but the doctor who he keeps like
Fauci.
who updates, I guess, the world.
Yeah.
They've been completely clueless and like continuously saying we don't have answers. Same thing, stay inside, wash your face, and then they release that we're gonna be good on May 8th.
We're not going to be good on May 8th. Please don't believe that.
Yeah.
Just like Jonas said, it's not gonna be good till everyone can get tested. Like it doesn't make sense. Like
Yeah, you
that's the
can't.
only thing.
I personally just don't care about it.
My friend was literally in
right.
Boston at a convention where 100 people got diagnosed with it, and he called because he had a cough. Once he got back, and they're like, "Oh, well, you only have a cough. You don't have this, so we're not testing."
My favorite thing, and so we're leaning
All right.
over in towards
Hey,
you
and
know,
after your statement, we're gonna have to move start. All right.
Sure. All
Go
right.
ahead.
I'm gonna post the link for you guys. I would really like you to read this, just to get a really good general idea of what's going on and everything. So this is, if you copy and paste that link, this is a story of a Virginia pastor who defied shelter-in-place laws, and truly believed in his heart that Jesus Christ and God was bigger than the coronavirus, and that nothing could stop them from gathering in mass, whatever. This guy's dead. He died from the fucking virus. Jesus didn't save him. God didn't save him. Absolutely neglected just common sense. And this is one of the big problems that we're dealing with in the country right now, is there is a multitude of people that are not taking this seriously. And I hope, my hope is that Escoffier is taking this seriously. I hope that May 8th doesn't roll around and, you know, everyone is like, let's go back to school and let's continue on like it's gone.
Yeah, no, and Escoffier right now that this is not going to reopen until until we feel like it's taken care of. I mean, we're gonna. I mean, when is this class supposed to be done with?
May, middle of May, I think.
May the 18th.
Okay, so I mean, honestly, we're not gonna. I mean, we're not even thinking about it until until the 18th, or maybe even longer. It just really kind of depends. We're gonna finish this out no matter what online. We're not gonna go back on campus until the only time we're going back on campus is that in-service on the 15th or whatever that Friday in-service is. But I promise you, I'm with the high population groups, right? You know, I've got leukemia, I've got a blood cancer, so I take this very seriously. So, you know, and I know that, you know, well, I will make sure that y'all don't go on the 8th. I will talk to Chef Ruffin about that. But Chef Pabla, we ready?
Well, you've got your spreadsheet, so we're going to be starting. It's on day the 10th.
Day
we start
one.
on day 1. I hope some of you looked at it. Is this sheet number 1? This is day. I can't seem to get it on mine, so I have to really basically.
All right, this is day 1.
I need number 10.
Okay, that is number 10 right here. I think you need 11 because 11 starts up the spreadsheet.
Okay.
There you go.
So a spreadsheet. What is a spreadsheet? Anybody know? Tell me what a spreadsheet is.
It kind of depends on what type of spreadsheet you're talking about. It could just be a sheet that track items, a sheet that can cost that list the cost of the products. It just kind of depends on the spreadsheet, to be honest.
It is a quick calculation of multiple evaluations or qualities. Also, if you go back up a little bit, Cheffy, I can't think. Planning your I can't get it on my computer, and that's what I cannot understand why I can't get it on mine, because I had it on mine yesterday and I worked through it. I can't get it out of my other one, my computer. Planning your spreadsheet, your items are what you want to be able to track and view. Make sure you're using the data, inventory, cost tracking, review. How often will your data change? How will the data be laid out? Will it be in your rows in your column? You can helpful to write a draft on a paper to determine the format will be met and required. Chef Cliff knows an awful lot more about spreadsheets. I've done spreadsheets at work, but he knows a lot more. He's taught this class a lot, so he's going to really interact with me to understand what a spreadsheet is all about. Remember Google Sheets. Go to your portal and get your spreadsheets and title. Enter title for the spreadsheets, and it'll come up. Is that right, Chef Cliff? Creating your spreadsheet. How did you? I cannot get on mine. So
can y'all see the spreadsheet on this right here? This
Yes.
Spreadsheet. All right, so this is the spreadsheet, right? So when you get on, you've got, you know, let me create. So when you get on, you go to this little spot, you go to sheets, right? Click on that. And in the second slot, you click on blank.
can't hear you good.
And this pops up. Everybody see that? Not hear me at all?
Okay, and you go to
Can you hear me?
where? Chef, go back again. Where do you go to?
We can hear you, Chef, but it's lagging.
I'm going
Can
to
you
go
hear
off.
me now?
Yes.
Test, 1, 2.
We can hear you now.
Okay, cool. All right, so does everybody understand where I've gotten this so far?
Yes.
Okay. Am I too quiet?
No, you're not
No.
quiet. It's just you're in
Go
and
back.
out.
There's a lag.
Yes,
Sorry,
please.
my wife is teaching elementary upstairs, and I'm downstairs. Sorry, I think that's my internet's getting
Chef.
down, so I apologize.
Chef, can you go back one more time for them to get it? Go back to the portal and see where they have to come to where they are. Thank you.
Okay, so if you, all right, so very beginning, you turn on your computer. I mean, this is like for Google, right? You or Google or Chrome or whatever. I've got a Chromebook, so I get on here, and here's that little kind of Google sidebar. Now, do you remember when I was telling y'all that some of y'all are asking for permission for getting like PowerPoints and all of that sort of stuff? If you log in as in this section right here as your student, because I'm logged in as, if you can see, Chef Dickerson at escoffier.edu in my Google. So if you log in Google with your school email address, it does not require permission to get stuff, because but anyway, so that's it. But you go here, go to Sheets. Everybody see the Sheets? Click on Sheets. This will come up. And it's just kind of,
Chef, you're not, you
and
can't,
then you click blank sheet.
no, it's kind of fading in and out.
It's every time you load your spreadsheet, it starts to lag. So maybe give it some time to load.
Okay. Can y'all hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, maybe it is the loading. Sorry, my apologies. So everybody kind of sees where I have it right now, just a blank spreadsheet, correct?
Right.
Okay, and thank you, whoever this is. I can't see any of y'all's pictures, so whoever that is telling me thank you, whoever that is. So now I can title it. I can write Cliff's Place. All right, or Cliff's. There you go. Now I hit return. Now it's always save on Cliff's, whatever else. And now we have a spread. We've got the spreadsheet right here. All right. Now I'm going to go back to the PowerPoint if I can. All right, so we went to the Google Drive, opened up, and we renamed it, right? Can y'all hear me now?
Yes, Chef.
Okay, so, and I'm sorry, I can't see any of y'all right now. So, realistically, y'all are not going to be making, like in this class, you're not going to be creating a new spreadsheet. We're going to be using a spreadsheet that is already, we're going to be using a spreadsheet that's already filled out. View the spreadsheet right here. This one already has formulas built in, and so where you're not going to have to put in too many formulas, put in anything intricate. You just need to put in ingredients and all that, and it'll calculate it for you. But this is a spreadsheet. It helps you, do inventory, do many different things. But so far, we've named our spreadsheet Cliffs, right? Now we're gonna go down here. Let's see what else. Enter a column and a header. All right. So we got the name of the sheet. Now we're gonna hit do columns. Hopefully this is. Can you hear me?
Yes, Chef.
Okay, sorry. I'm trying to make sure that everything works. All right, now let's say, let's name this tools. Okay, so we've got tools. All right, now let's say I want to make this tools go across here. I grab that, stretch it over to F, and it copies it all the way over. Okay, if I want to do it like this, I take it down like that. But I don't spend much time really showing you like, I mean, I'll show you this, but that's kind of, you can put headings of tools, product name, menu item, you name it, just like what we have right here. You have a column that says you can create a culinary spreadsheet. You can put recipes. I will show you how to combine cells. Okay, let's say I want these two cells to merge. Sorry, I'm trying to. So I'm going to hit Shift, highlight the three cells A, B, and C, and I'm going to find the one that says Merge Cells right there, and it's going to merge. So all of this is one big cell now. The A, 1A, B, and C, there now that's all one big cell. Does everybody understand that? Yes.
Yes, chef.
Cool. I mean, how much, Chef, could you, oh, wait, now we got 23 people. And I need to check attendance. So, Chef Pablo? Chef Pablo?
I'm here. It's
Could
23
you
people.
see, could you see how many people raise their hand of, like, do people understand the basics of a spreadsheet? Can you see, everybody raise your, or put your
It's
thumb
20,
up?
we've got 23 on right now.
Yeah. Yes. How many people know how to do a basic spreadsheet? Can you count how many people?
Okay,
Jeff?
I can. Not a problem. Anybody know how to do a basic spreadsheet? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Honest.
Okay.
6.
All right. So
I don't know how to do it. I don't know how to do a basic spreadsheet. That's why I'm doing the thumbs down.
Okay.
heard. So I just want to make sure where we're at and what kind of. All right. So do you have a spreadsheet open? I would like everybody to try to get a spreadsheet open if possible. Because I can talk about this, but or at the end of the day, could you open a spreadsheet up at some point and try to do what we're doing, if possible? And Chef Pavla, if you could keep up with all the chat in the chat room to figure out if there's any questions that need to be answered, chat room.
Sure, not a problem. I'm here.
Chef, are we going to be opening a blank spreadsheet or the one that's offered in the portal that already is?
Well, okay, the one that's offered in the portal right now is for your project.
Okay.
I think what I'm
lagging,
showing
Chef.
little tricks, I guess. I'm trying to find, give you a few tricks to deal with it, but realistically, I would much rather show you this one right here. So I'm going to show you what you need to do to plug in everything, and then because what I usually do is get everybody open up spreadsheets right off the bat, and I kind of go step by step. Can you all do that?
Yes.
Okay.
Got it, Chef.
So if you have
Spreadsheet open.
If you have Cool. If you have the capability of doing that, I would appreciate it. So I'm going to show you all how to do it one more time. So you're going to go open a new folder. We're going to click on this. We're going to go to Sheets. I'm going to hit blank sheet.
Can't hear you.
Now, I would like to title this. I would like you to title this a title. Just some sort of title. Yes.
Chef Cliff, do you have multiple tabs and other programs open on your computer right now, eating up a lot of CPU? Do you have a lot of things going on your computer right now?
I've got, I mean, it's a crappy Chromebook, but I mean, I've got a PowerPoint 1, the spreadsheet, and Zoom.
And that's it?
Yep, that's it.
Okay.
Yeah.
You sound clearer when
Okay.
not loading anything.
All right, well, I kind of cut out a couple of things, so hopefully that'll help. All right, so everybody is to Hey guys,
Yep,
hello.
over here.
Are y'all there? All right. So
Yeah.
what I think. Okay. So what I think I want to do is I don't know if I want to waste time with my lagging and all of that. So what I might do is I might just do a video demo on how to do it and put it up on the portal. Would y'all like that?
Yes.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Yeah,
Would that be
that's
better?
totally fine. That's totally fine.
Okay, I think that would be better just because of the lag time and all of that. Trying to do it real time, it's kind of not working very well, and I don't want to waste y'all's time. Does that make sense?
Okay, but
So
Chef, in regards to the spreadsheet that is
Oh.
already formulated, do
yeah,
we access
I'm gonna go over that. I'm just gonna show you offline. Like I'm gonna video how to create a brand new spreadsheet and add columns and all of that. Does that make sense?
But will we have to do that on?
No,
Okay.
no, but the part of the curriculum is talking about how to build a spreadsheet. So I was gonna show you how to build a spreadsheet.
Okay.
So I was going to show you how to build a spreadsheet, but you do not need to create a spreadsheet whatsoever. The spreadsheet is already created for you.
Gotcha.
Chef Marcella wants to ask a question.
Yes. What's the question?
Marcella, go ahead. Marcel.
Is it written down? Do you see the question written down?
Unmute. Marcel, raised hand. Go ahead. Marcel,
All right.
I'm trying. Are you there? Marcel, no, she's not answering.
All right. All right then. All right. So does that make sense? I just don't want to waste your time because of all the lag time and all of that. But you will not need to create a power or a spreadsheet for this. It's already created for you. What I'm going to do is go over the spreadsheet of what is already made for you. Then I will do a Zoom meeting for myself or a Zoom kind of a video showing you how to create a blank spreadsheet going forward. Is that good? All right.
Yes.
All right, cool. I just want to make sure everybody's good on it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to shut this out and just only talk about the project and the spreadsheet for the project. All right, and then in about an hour or two at the end of the day, or in a next hour or two, I will post a video of me doing a Zoom, creating a spreadsheet. Okay. All right.
Chef, were you calling my name a second ago?
Yeah, Marcel, we were calling you because your hand was up.
Oh, was it? Oh, I didn't mean to. I'm sorry, Chef.
It's all right, because we thought you had a question.
Oh, no, I'm all good. I've just been listening.
Oh, okay. Well, you weren't very far because I've been trying for 3 minutes.
I heard you, but I just couldn't get to my phone. It was next to me.
Okay.
All right.
Keep
Thank
an
you,
eye.
Chef.
Thank you.
What I'm going to do is go project.
He sounds like a keyboard.
Hopefully.
Yeah. I think he can't work the computer and talk. I think that's the issue for him.
No, it's his bandwidth. He has something's eating up his bandwidth right now.
Oh, is that what it is?
Well, he said his
Yeah.
wife was teaching too, so they're both trying to stream.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was
All
off.
right.
I went off.
So I've had to postpone my kids getting online to do their school. Otherwise, if all three of us are trying to do it at the same time, it don't work.
Yeah, that's
I noticed
bandwidth.
that yesterday. So yesterday I tried to log on to my Zoom class, but my kids have to be logged on at 8 o'clock. So when I tried to log on to my Zoom class at 8 o'clock, I mean at like 7:45, because all of our laptops were up and running on Wi-Fi, it shut it down. I can't. Something's wrong with my AT&T hotspot. I can't even get on that now.
Yeah.
All right. Are y'all there? Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Am I a robot still?
Nope.
Okay, cool. All right, so here's the final project. If you look at it on the portal or on my screen, if you can. All right, the menu, you need a menu, and it can be, I want it in color. You're gonna send it to me. I will try to share you some menus because that's what I was trying to do earlier, and I couldn't. It was getting eaten up.
Shit, sorry.
I'm getting it. Well, I lost everything. Oh, there we go. All right, so you're going to create a menu, and you see where it says must-have menus written up here. Click on that, and that's going to bring you to this page. Okay, everybody there? Everybody see it?
Yes.
Okay. So you're going to create a menu like this. So what I would suggest you doing, this is a free website, but you need to create a login, because if you do not create a login, your menu will not be saved. So you need to create a login on this in this website, and it will help you kind of create this kind of a breakfast menu or breakfast thing. You can do trifolds, you can do a single, you can do just about whatever you want to on this. That is a good resource for your menu. All right, now, so you've got the menu, you've got the help with the menu design is that must-have menus. You're going to need, and this does not always have to be like this. It says 3 starters, 3 main items, 3 desserts. Well, we're just trying to give you an idea. So what you can do is as long as there's, how many is that, 9? So as long as there's 9 items that is costed out or on your menu, I'm okay with. You know, you need 9 items. You can do, if you're a pastry person, you can do any pastries, 9 different pastries or 9 different items. But it needs to be 9 items. And, I would kind of do like a couple of, if you're doing a food truck, you can do entrees, you can do appetizer, you can do whatever else. You could do more than 9, but you're only costing, you can write down, I don't know, on your menu, you can write down 50 items on your menu, right? Like right here, you can have all these items on your menu, but you're only costing out 9 of them. That's all I need.
Chef?
Yes, go ahead. I don't see you, but I can hear you.
Okay, it's Jonas. So 3 appetizers, 3 entrees, or 3 main courses, 3 desserts. As long as it's 9, is it all right if 3 of them aren't desserts?
Yeah,
if you do more
I don't
main,
care.
as long as it equals 9, it doesn't have to specifically be 3 desserts. Okay, excellent.
That is correct. That is correct.
Okay.
Yes, you don't. And we had it spaced out like that just so where people can kind of see, okay, if you want to do 3 desserts or 3 entrees or whatever else, but it can be anything, any 9 items.
Chef, is this pertain to, say, if you're going to, it's your theme of your restaurant, right?
Yeah, and we're going to talk about that.
Okay, but these 9 recipes go according to the adventure or the thing that you're going to be doing, a food truck or a restaurant or a cafe or something, correct? Or do they have to be associated or not?
I mean, it should. I mean, if it's a
complement the venue that you're going to be doing.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you want it to flow, right? I mean, if it's a Southwestern style restaurant, you have Asian food, I mean, that just doesn't fly, or it doesn't kind of work very well. But I mean, yeah, but as long as it complements it, yes. But we'll get into the talking about your restaurant in a minute. I'm just kind of talking about the specifics. Here we go. So it could be 9 items, right? 9 items. That's all I care about. 9 items. The layout of the menu, we're going to have the item's name, an item description. And when I'm saying description, man, turn me on. Make me excited about your food. Say nice, crispy, golden brown chicken breast, pan seared or sauteed with clarified butter, whatever. Some sort of something that turns me on, something that excites me and makes me want to buy that item. Does that make sense? I want you to be descriptive. User-friendly, easy to read. Guys, I'm getting old, and sometimes when I'm in a restaurant and they have really dark lighting, maybe the menu is in small writing or it's not in bold. Make sure it's easy to read. Make sure it's not jumbled. Has anybody ever been to Cheesecake Factory? And that's a Bible. They have like I mean, their menu is a Bible, like huge. It's huge, and you've got to think about, as maybe as a customer in the profession that I'm in, I know that me eating at Cheesecake Factory, I know more than half of that stuff is not fresh. It's frozen and sold, kind of stuck off the side. So when you have a huge menu like that, plus people get anxiety over looking at menus like that, or can't decide. They can't decide because there's so many things that they want or too much. So make it easy for customers to look at, to read, easy layout. You could have a kind of a straight, kind of a in columns or whatever else, but you want an easy layout. The logo, I want a logo, and a logo means, whatever your name of your restaurant or like the maybe kind of like the Golden Arches, right? That's a logo, right? Or Starbucks, their logo is, a girl, I don't even know what it is anymore, but, make a logo, create it, put it on there. Let's see, menu price and locations. Now, what I would say, the very last thing you're going to do is menu pricing. I really don't want you to worry about menu pricing right now. That's going to be like week 4 or week 5 or week 6. We'll get to that. But location, I do want to know where you're going to be located. If it's going to be in Austin, what I want to know is your pricing compared to the cost of your food. Is it comparable to somewhere around you, or for example, like your clientele is comparable to the cost. Like if I'm making a very high-end restaurant close to University of Texas, where there's a bunch of poor college kids there, that would maybe not be the best idea right there. Maybe something a little cheaper. So, determining where you're going to be located, it determines who your clientele is. And you don't ever open up a restaurant for yourself. You open up a restaurant for your clientele, because clientele is the one that pays your bills, right? So you always want to make sure your clientele, this restaurant fits your clientele. For example, if I live in Southwest Austin, off of Brody, let's say, and if I wanted to open up a restaurant, I would go and say, okay, what are we missing? What do we need? What kind of restaurant do we want in Southwest Austin? And tailor it to that neighborhood or that area, instead of putting some weird restaurant that it's going to probably fail because they don't understand my concept, or my concept's really weird and they don't understand it. So, just make sure you have a good location, logo, name of the restaurant, color, and what did I just say about the concept? Okay, what is your concept? Does someone give me a concept of a restaurant? Anybody?
My concept was to do my spin on super authentic Mexican food, to elevate it to be healthier, to adhere to the Austin community.
That's great. That's great. I mean, and other concepts are like, for example, what's the one where they go and Magic Time Machine, where they kind of dress up in medieval times. That's a concept, right? So those are kind of types of concepts out there. Or, for example, I think Chef Pavla was even talking about some like a bar / laundromat or something like that. That's a concept, right? To bring people in. What makes people come into your restaurant? What makes people want to spend their money? So come up with a concept. Is it going to be, I had someone that did kind of a murder mystery concept of a restaurant or something like that, but any sort of concept to get people to come in your doors. Okay, does everybody follow that?
Yes, Chef.
All right. So color, just good color. You do not need to print it out because you're just going to share it with me, right? You're not going to print this out. So you want to just share it with me. Items, you're going to have to cost out the menu, and we're going to talk about costing in just a second. Is there any questions so far of what I've talked about right now, that you need at least 9 items that are on your menu? You need a concept, you need a logo, you need to decide what your name of your restaurant's going to be. And it doesn't have to be a brick and mortar. It could be a food trailer. It could be, whatever, anything that you would like. You need, let's see, questions about that? Anybody? No one has any questions of the stuff so far. All right, that's what I would work on right now. I'm going to show you the cost or the actual form. Okay, it's right underneath the review the final project instruction. You click on the project. I don't know why this keeps popping up. Do y'all see that stuff popping up on my computer? Maybe that's where my bandwidth.
Lagging, Chef.
Yeah, you definitely have some stuff going on your computer.
All right. So what you're going to do for putting in, let's say you need AP flour. Your recipe. What do we want to do? Cookies. Let's see, a cookie recipe. Let's make a cookie recipe. Let's see here. We've got what? Hold on a second. I'm trying to get this. So we're gonna call this cookie. Okay, so do you see how I named it cookies, right? Recipe cookies. All right, that's my recipe. Costed by Cliff. Why is it not? All right, well, can y'all hear me?
Yes, Chef.
All right, my
Yeah, you're good.
Well, my computer is now frozen up, so.
Okay, so really, what he's doing is costed out by Chef Cliff. He's going to put that in that green bracket. And then the ingredients of the cookies that you're going to be doing. Flour, butter, sugar. Go back to that page, Chef. Okay. So what you can do is, remember the recipe. You're there? Okay, good. You can take over.
All right, now it's unfrozen, I think. I can't, I'm not going to be able to plug it in, but where it says recipes, you're going to write in the name of the recipe, chocolate chip cookie. You're going to put costed by, you're going to put your name, and then you're going to start putting your ingredients. What I would do is I would write, AP flour, salt, pepper, whatever you need, right? Oil, you name it, write it all in these little ingredients area right here, where it's, and then what I would do is then you need to figure out what is it measured in? Is it measured in ounces or volume? What it be? You've got volume, count. If it's 5 oranges, you would write oranges right here, and then the count you would write 5. Does that make sense?
Yes.
And then where you find the cost. Now the cost, they said they built it in, so let me make sure. All right, so on the very, are y'all there? So on the very far side, past recipe 9, there's a thing called order guide. And here is all the stuff that you could possibly find with a price on it. So this is pounds. So this is graham crackers. It's $1.96 per pound. Okay, does everybody see that? Now, what we're going to need to do is we're going to need to figure out how much so if it's a $1.99 a pound, and let's say we're only using a half a pound, how much is $1.99? If it's $1.99 a pound and we need a half a pound, what is that?
99 cents.
Okay, so the cost for this one is 99. Oh, let's see if it'll work. 99 cents. Oh, wait.
0.99. No, at
Yep.
the end.
All right, so here, this one, they've even fixed it. So where this, you put in like a half a pound right there. Do you see how I put in a 0.50? And then I put in the regular cost, let's say for a half pound of AP, let's just say AP flour. AP flour for a half a pound, and it costs $1.99 a pound for AP flour. It will, and if I put in the half a pound, it will calculate it for me, correct?
Oh my gosh, that's fabulous. Wish that would happen.
So,
Okay.
so now let's say, you know, I don't know, something else. Let's say carrots, you need 2 pounds. So I'm going to write 2 pounds right there. And I'm going to, how much are carrots? Let's say, do you want to do it by each? Let's do it by each, by count. Let's say the carrots are $1. Let's say unit. 5 units. Oh, wait. Oh, sorry. All right, so if we're doing units, right, we need to do here, we'll do 5 units. And, oh, why is it? Please.
I think it means unit of measurement.
Oh, okay. Oh, maybe. Sorry, I was thinking it was like counts. Oh, you didn't count. It's not working.
So really, you put the ingredients on the side and then come across for the quantity, and then it tells you how much that quantity cost, the cost of it, and it calculates how much you're going to be using. Because when you put it by weight or by volume, depending on which direction you want to go, correct, Chef?
Yes, that is correct.
So it would be, sometimes it is better to go by weight, by volume, or some items are by volume or some by some weight. So, because the majority of the times it says so many ounces or how many cups, remember, liquid cups. So it depends on how you do that. And it's really great because when you go to the cost factor, you can go to the to the side and pick out your items. It's already there for you. It's a grocery store right in front of you to calculate what you're going to be doing. So you're going to be making nine of these brackets, because you're going to, for each recipe, you are going to have one of these cost sheets. Is that correct, Chef?
That is correct.
Okay. So it says on the bottom of the line, if you look at the bottom, it says recipe number 1, number 2, number 3. It's already done for you. What a great gift to you all. So you can time in. Remember the theme of your restaurant. Your recipe adapts to what your restaurant is all about, or the function that you want to do, like a food truck. If you want to do hamburgers or different things that you want to come across. Remember, making a wow factor to sell what you're doing. So you might have, for the first 2 items, is starters. What are starters? Anybody know what a starter is?
Appetizer.
Appetizer, correct. Something to enable them to eat some more. Remember, it's a teaser. It's something, remember what we went over the menu. Remember, the first one is the amuse, the second one is the appetizer. So this is kind of a teaser to where you want to get on the menu. Think about what kind of restaurant and what theme. The person said a healthy Mexican restaurant. Think about what you want to make sure that they come across the first thing they see on that menu to see what they want to make it work. What kind of things that they want. And then the third thing is a dessert. You know, 3 desserts. Maybe you don't want desserts. Maybe you want a little bit more of appetizers to go into a dessert. But I think, you know, dessert, always remember, the dessert is an item that people never forget. The dessert is an item that is the last thing they eat before they leave. They might not like the appetizer or the main menu, but the dessert is something that is longing in their head. Just because I teach dessert doesn't mean that it needs to be that I'm talking about it. It is the last item that a person gets and eats before they leave. It christens it or it tanks it, one or the other. So think about, and if it's a food truck, remember, how many ounces is usually in a menu? Does anybody know? How many ounces when you're doing a menu? Anybody know? A savory menu. What is typically the ounces that you serve? In a dessert form, it's 3 to 5 ounces. That's all you can serve on a dessert menu. Did you all know that?
Are you just talking about dessert menu? Because for like meat
The
stuff,
menu.
it's about 6 to 8 ounces.
6 to 8 ounces, so when you're eating a meal, correct? That's really important to know. Remember when you're costing it out, how many ounces are you going to be doing it to cost it out? I know a dessert menu is always 3 to 5 ounces, no more than that. Why do they want to limit the amount of food on a menu? Anybody know? Put your hand up. Why do you want not a big item on your menu? Tell me, Marcus.
Portion control, food costs, just stuff like that, making sure that everything stays within a good price range so you can continue to sell it productively and make the money off of it while still being able to serve a good amount.
Productive, you said the right words. Cost control, uniformity, really, really important. What else is really important? If you make the item too big, you're going to have two people eating that piece or that menu. What is your job in that restaurant? What is the job of the restaurant?
Make money, sell more.
To sell more and make money, right? So the bigger the portion of the item, the less you're going to sell because there might be people more eating into it. Do you all understand? So remember, when you're costing out your restaurant, your partake in what you want, make sure it's uniform. Make sure that the items are not big because you're there to make money. You're there to make it productive for what you do. Remember, 6 to 8 ounces on a menu, unless you're buying a big steak and you're paying $100 for the steak. On these steak places, remember, they sell it by the ounces. Remember, how many times have you been to a steakhouse and they sell it by the ounces? Same thing in a dessert bar, 3 to 5 ounces, no more. Everybody kind of understand where we're going. So when your dream of your restaurant is thinking about the menu item that you're going to be using and the cost sheet that what you're going to be putting together. So remember, ingredients, they always start off with butter, sugar, egg, or whatever, or even when you're doing savory, onions, scallions, or whatever you're doing. A little bit of oil, meat, vegetables. What are we going to do? So are we going to have a sidekick to it? The main item. And then the first one is the starters, the main item and the dessert. 9 items altogether. It equals to 40 points. So you've got all of that kind of really brought out to you on the spreadsheet on the bottom. So think about what your menu is. Yes, Loretta.
Chef, so is this 2 separate things or do you want to cost?
No, it's
everything
one thing,
on that
but
menu.
have to think about the size of the menu that you're going to be making.
No, my question is this two separate things, or do you want a cost sheet for every single, all 9 items that we have on the menu?
Yeah, you gotta have a cost item for each item.
For 9 items.
9 items, correct. Is that right, Chef? Is that right? Chef Cliff?
What was
Chef-
the question?
Question was, she's gotta have 9 recipes. Each recipe is costed out.
That is correct. I'm trying to find one that I have on my cloud to show you an example of a project. If you
Okay.
wait just one second.
Yeah, but yes, Loretta. So each item has a recipe.
I'm just trying
Let me see. Loretta, got it? Okay, everybody else get it? But just keep in mind the size of your meal or your item that you're doing. Don't overextend it, okay?
Yes,
To
Chef.
make it work. That's a project of making money, not giving it away. You know, you might have the first week of open house that you want to do something special, give something away free, but that's it. In that essence, you're done. You're there to make money. Any other questions, anybody? It really is brought out to you.
Okay, so this
Hey,
is
Chef,
the
good.
project. It has a little bit more than what this person was. Yeah, you there?
Yeah,
Not
we're here.
really.
Are you there?
Yes, now we
All
can
right,
hear
can
you.
you all hear? Oh, okay. So this is a project that someone did. This is a little bit of more of an overachiever project, but I will show you this one. This is their name of the restaurant with their logo written down. Okay, everybody see that? Red Rose Cafe.
Yes.
Okay. Now, with this, so they put it in a PowerPoint setting. Okay. But you don't have to do it this way. This is a total overachiever. Okay. But we have the menu is right here, and I have a copy, another copy I'll show you. But you have, do you see that there's more than 9 items on this menu, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Well,
So,
yeah.
so what I'm asking of you is to create a big menu and put fake or not. You don't have to cost out all of these. You only need to cost out 9 of them, but make it look like a full menu. Does that make sense?
Yes.
We just don't want a small menu with 9 items and it's looking all frail and all by itself, right? We want a bigger menu, but you only need to cost out 9 of those items. Okay, so so that's kind of what I'm looking for. This person said their location is in downtown Temple, Texas. Okay, so they found a picture of Temple and they put it on there. The location, they had the hours of operations. You don't have to do that, but if you would like to do it, more that you can do it. The more information, the better. Okay, but that is a some of that information, the demographics about the cafe. Just tell me about your place. Tell me about what it is, or give me, you don't again have to have all of this, but a little bit is good. How many tables? Is it going to be all to go order? Is it going to be all, is it going to be, I don't know, whatever about it that you want anybody to know. Now here is some costing out forms. So here, blueberry muffins, raw cost. What we're trying to figure out is the raw cost of how much one item costs, right? So how much does one blueberry muffin cost me? Because I don't care how much it costed, all I want to know is how much that one cost is, because most of our recipes are like 15 to 100, let's say 100 muffins, you know, we just want to know what one muffin is, and then we can figure out the cost. So, and the sales price that they're going for is $5, and that's a 31.4% food cost. And we'll talk about food costs later on, but this is kind of, you're trying to find the raw cost. You know, here, this, again, a little more information than you need to do for your project. But again, this is an overachiever, and that's why I'm showing it. But you've got the staff, you know, how many staffing, what you need. This project right here, are like the staffing, you really don't need to worry about. I would not worry about anything that has to do with staffing. And then that was it. So that was their kind of PowerPoint, and then they have the costing out. Oops. And I will show you the costing out on another day, because I know that everybody's kind of confused, or at least that's what I just read on some of the notes. Some people are confused about that, about this. But it is, you're kind of creating your own little restaurant, your fake restaurant that you're going to decide where you're going to put it. You're going to come up with some menu items, and we're going to cost them out. But the costing out for me is going to be a little bit later on, because we're going to be still talking about food cost and all of that sort of stuff. But I would say for you, for now, get your concept, maybe find 9 items that you would like to, that flow with your concept, find out where you want to be, maybe start playing around with that menu, must-have menus or whatever, that menu, I'm sorry, the must-have menus area. But I would say start working on that portion of it, and then we'll cost out, all the costing out will come in a few weeks. Questions, problems, concerns, and I probably made a lot of questions. Or y'all going to have a lot of questions? Yes, no, maybe so, we good?
I understand it. Just probably when I start plugging in information is when I'll have questions.
Yes, that's what usually happens, is when you start plugging in and doing it. Once you start doing it yourself, and what I suggest is, let's say if someone wants to add, you know, share with your project to me, and I can look at it, and you and I can work on it individually, that's fine as well. So don't be afraid to email me or text me or message me with your project, so where we can kind of work it together.
Yes, Chef.
All right, I have probably confused everybody today, so that's all right, I guess. But tomorrow, what did it say, Chef, we were going to learn?
Tomorrow's day 8. Day 8.
Day 8. All right, and it is right here. I think this one you're going to have, if you just like it should go straight to that training right there. All right?
Correct.
We good?
We're good.
Cool.
We'll talk a little
Well
bit
then,
more about,
Chef, you want to close it down?
yeah, we'll talk more about spreadsheets tomorrow to make it more comfortable. If you are going to indulge in it today sometimes, think about your menu, or no, not necessarily think about your menu right now. Think about where you want to be. Look at the rent. Remember the cost factor of where you want to be profitable. And make things, do you want it big? Do you want it small? Small is better to start off with, and then you can grow into anything that you want to do and adapt to make it work. The concept is really important. Remember, food cost is another big item. You'll be doing that in the next couple of days. But I want you to make sure you find a place that is comfortable for you to go to work for and makes you feel proud and get up in the morning to go do it every day. It's a thing that, and it's really good for some of you who want to start a business to have a guideline and have a ground rule of where you want to go. Really important. So this kind of opens up a big aspect of where you want to be. And I think that's what it is. So understanding decision making. We learned a little bit about that, the concept of making it, the challenges of dictatorship, or how do you want to come across, get the work done, be a mentor, no matter where position you're in, always be a mentor to somebody else, because they might not know how to follow directions, and you might be the person that opens that door for them, because we are all human beings and we all need to learn something. And you just have the ability to come across in that right, Marcus, to understand. So, you know, I think Chef Cliff explained it a lot. I thank you, Chef Cliff, to understand what the spreadsheet is all about and doing different things. So let's stay on it and make sure that we meet again tomorrow. Try to get an idea of where you want to be, what do you want to open, and what do you want to blow people away with. And then come up with some recipe ideas. And if you have any ideas, if you want to share them with Chef Cliff or myself, you're welcome to do so. And which direction do you want to go? It's a great in thought, a great outcome of what restaurant ops is all about, understanding the culture of food and the realization of growing, the realization of decision making, the realization of, do you want to be a mentor, or what kind of way are you going to be running a restaurant? Remember, we talked about that yesterday. So depending on what kind of person you want to be, hopefully a mentor, because that's what the world needs today, is people leadership role to make it work. You all get that?
Got it, Chef.
Oh, I appreciate that very, very much. Kimberly, you feeling better now that you've been up for a while? A little bit better? Robert, how are you today?
I'm good. I'm a little tired.
Tired? Your mom and dad made you do a lot of work? No?
No, not really.
Okay. How about everybody else? Been tired? You've been doing a lot, haven't you? Loretta, you've been doing a lot?
No, hadn't been doing that much at all.
No?
Nope, so I'm good.
Are you all resting a little bit, hopefully?
Yeah.
Where's Roro? I haven't heard from her. She hasn't said 2 words all day today.
I have.
Oh, just a couple. Just a couple. I guess you're tired.
Yes, I have to go to work in a little bit, but I'll make it. I'm getting through it.
You're going to get through it?
Yes,
So you
ma'am.
learned a little bit about decision making today?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you all comfortable with everything what Chef Cliff talked about today? Everybody comfortable? Let me get
No,
that thumbs
Chef.
up, please.
No, we're
Everybody
not.
understand where we are?
Mm-mm.
Okay,
No,
Andre, I didn't see you. I only see your picture.
I'm here, Chef. You know, I'm just chilling. You know, just listening to
Chilling?
you guys.
Okay. Making sure. Anybody else have any questions? Okay, we had 18 right now, so we were up to, what was it, 23? Yep, we had 23 in the class, Chef.
All right, y'all have a great rest of your day, guys.
You too, Chef.
Thank you, chefs.
All right, I'll make that video.
Thanks, Chef.
Yes, sir.
Take care,
And
everyone.
I'll send it. It'll be a little bit for me to get to make it. So give me a little bit. All right, have a good day, guys.
All right. Take care.
Bye.
Thank you. Thanks, Chef Cliff. Where is he? He's gone.